What's going on, guys? We are back with another YouTube video, and this time I am doing a movie review on The Flash. Oh my god! Flash! So today is currently Monday the 9th. I actually got a chance to see The Flash at a screening around Mother's Day, and I'm actually going to the premiere for it on Monday. So when you guys watch this YouTube video, the movie will have already been released. I can't release this review just yet this early because I'm not trying to get in trouble or anything. But in another video, I am going to go ahead and post how the premiere went, which should be really exciting. I know it's gonna be a lot of fun. All of the cast is gonna be there, so yes. Also, I am well aware that the background is mostly Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel nerd. I also love DC, but I don't really have much DC stuff. I have a few candles. I have the Flash candle. I try to put some effort into it. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get into it. So when I got a chance to see The Flash, I will say this is probably one of DC's top films. I've seen Aquaman, I've seen Justice League, I've seen Wonder Woman, and I will say Wonder Woman is probably my top, like my number one. The first Wonder Woman, I think that was an amazing movie. Right next to that, in my opinion, is gonna be The Flash. I just have to say, I think Ezra Miller did an amazing job playing The Flash. I think he perfected, you know, the comedic and sarcasm in this character. It wasn't over the top, it was just right. And then also in this film, there's a lot of dramatic scenes, there's a lot of sad scenes, and I think he hit the nail on the head with portraying that character. Real quick, there are going to be some spoilers in this, so if you don't want to hear any of the spoilers, go ahead and click out. I'll try not to go in depth about the entire film, but there might be a few things that I say that you're like, why did you tell me? Anyways, so in the beginning of the film, it right away starts off action-packed, starts off comedic. I will say this, I feel like there's a fine line when it comes to superhero movies, when it comes to the comedy of it. I don't think you should go over the top with these superhero movies because then it takes away from the heroism and the dramatics and the cinematics. I just think it takes away from a lot of the film. I think, again, Ezra Miller did a beautiful job at, you know, balancing that comedy along with the seriousness of the film. But in the beginning of the film, it starts off with him getting ready to run and go save the day because there's this big, you know, chaotic moment with this building that's about to collapse. I actually think the CGI was really good in this. You know, a lot of people complain about CGI when it comes to superhero movies, especially in Marvel, but my personal opinion, I didn't see anything wrong with the CGI in this. I thought it was great. There's a scene where it's possible that they may be able to portray the dad as innocent. However, in order for that to happen, they needed the correct surveillance footage, and in the surveillance footage that they had that would have proved his innocence, the dad's face isn't showing. So now Ezra's all stressed out and upset, and he's just trying to figure it out. How can he get his dad out of that situation? Because his dad is all he has left. His mind is like all over the place. He goes back to visit his old home. When he goes back to visit, you know, he gets flashbacks of moments between him and his mom and the situation that happened. And he's just so upset and he's so depressed, and he just starts running. He's running really crazy and just, you know, like when you're that upset and that there's so many emotions and you just start going nuts. And he runs so fast, just runs into like a different dimension. Like he's in this like vortex. He broke time. Now he can go back in time because of how fast he was running. And now he wants to go ahead and save his mom. However, there's a problem with that. Everybody knows that where you are today in your life is based off of the decisions you have made in your past. So if you're successful now, there's something that you've done in your past that has made you become the successful person. If you're trying to figure it out, if you had some issues right now in your life, whatever the case may be, everything that of who you are right now, everything that you have right now, everything you're being, everything is all because of the decisions you made in your past. So if you change one little thing in your past, it is going to disrupt the entire timeline to the point where you are right now will not be where you are right now. Did that click? Did that make sense? But of course, Barry Allen doesn't realize that. He just wants his mom. He wants to save his mom. He wants to save his dad. He wants all this to go away. Sounds reasonable to me. I would do the same thing, right? When he goes back in time or to a different time dimension, he runs into a different version of himself. And this version of himself doesn't have powers yet. So now there's two of him. And the other version of himself, he's trying to figure out, how can I get him powers too? he ends up finding out how to be able to get his other self the powers that he has. I should start labeling this like Flash 1, Flash 2. So I'm like he, his, him, his, he. Because he's in a different dimension, a different time zone, there's a whole, everything is just different, right? So he's trying to change some things, but of course, like I said, if you change one thing, then everything else is gonna change. Batman is not Batman. It's played by Michael Keaton, which Michael Keaton is a beautiful, amazing, fabulous actor. He is so good. He's just one of those actors that is very like versatile. Like you could see him playing anything. He's just so good. And of course he plays Batman, and he just does it so well. I just love him so much. Anyways, giving him his flowers. Back to the original story. What I think is amazing is Barry Allen gets to see another version of himself, and this Barry Allen, he gets to see all his flaws. They really got to get through it together. I think it's really dope to see how he's trying to help himself just become a better person overall throughout the whole movie. Of course, like I said, Batman is not Batman. It's played by Michael Keaton. Everyone is not who they say they are. Just going into a different time zone, going into the past, everything is just distraught. Everything is all over the place. It's very, very chaotic. And the way DC explained this film and the way they put it together, it was really, really good. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. They had Supergirl in there. Supergirl's played by Sasha Calle. She is beautiful, and she played that role so good. Loved it. But anyways, throughout the whole film, he's just really trying to save his mom. And along the way of trying to save his mom, he's just disrupting so many things. It didn't matter who he fought, it didn't matter who he killed, it didn't matter who he was going against. No matter which way they went, it was always a dead end. No matter how many times they went back in time to try to recreate this timeline, it didn't matter. His mom was always meant to pass away. The ending had me in tears. I was crying. I was boo-hooing in the theater. It was such a wow moment, because if you really look at it into real life perspective, sometimes when you go through things in life, it doesn't matter how you go about it. Sometimes certain things are just inevitable. So as much as he tried to save his mom's death, it was creating so much chaos and so much turbulence along the way. He was just disrupting so many things. It was just making the situation worse and worse. So not only was he killing his mom, he was killing the people around him. The world was about to collapse. Like, there was just so much chaos. As much as he kept going back in time, him and Flash number 2 were trying to save the situation and save his mom, it just wasn't meant to be saved. The moral of the Flash story is beautiful. I think it was well put together, like I said. The ending, I don't really want to tell the ending. I want you guys to go watch it. That's one spoiler I don't want to say, because it was just so beautiful and so touching, and every time I think about it, I get like really choked up, because it was just such it was just dope. It was a really good ending. I think Ezra did a beautiful job, and the mom as well. They did a beautiful job at portraying the mother and son relationship. Aside from that happening, there is one critique that I would say. There's certain parts in the film that I feel like there was like a lot of cheesy dialogue. It was just little things that I'm like, why did they write that in? You couldn't say something more like badass, but whatever. That's aside the point. It's a kid's film. You know, it's not even a kid's film. I'll be watching it. There's so many adults that go see it. I just wish the dialogue was a little bit different. Like the writers, I just wish it was a little bit less cheesy in some of the parts. Other than that, great film. Also, you know who's in the film? Okay, if you guys know me, you know I'm from Vine, right? I started off on Vine. Rudy Mancuso's in the film. I remember him announcing it, but I completely forgot about it until I watched it. And it was so exciting to see someone that started off on Vine with me. Now he's in The Flash. Like, that's huge. I think that's so dope. So kudos to him, flowers to him. Absolutely love the film, definitely recommend it. Like I said, this is probably one of DC's best films next to Wonder Woman, so kudos to them. That's all that I have for today. I feel like I just rambled on. If you guys want any more movie reviews, if you guys want to talk about anything else, go ahead and leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, after watching the film, come back, leave a comment, and let me know if I explained it well. Love you guys.